All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a fictional but maybe not so far-fetched event from 2026 that completely shook the tech industry. They're calling it the SaaS Apocalypse, and believe me, it's about a fundamental rewrite of everything we thought we knew about software. So, where did it all start? With this number. An absolutely mind-boggling loss. According to the analysis, over $1 trillion in market value just evaporated from software stocks. This wasn't some minor market correction. This was an event unlike anything we've really seen in the modern era. And here's the really crazy part: the speed. This entire financial meltdown happened in just 4 weeks. It was a lightning-fast, catastrophic collapse that left pretty much every investor and tech CEO completely stunned and scrambling for answers. So, how on earth did this happen? Let's start by digging into the immediate aftermath. We're going to look at which companies got hit the hardest and then walk through the exact timeline that led to this unprecedented crash. The damage wasn't just hitting a few small startups. Nope. We are talking about the absolute titans of the software world. Salesforce, down 38% because its whole per-seat model was suddenly at risk. You see Adobe, Intuit, ServiceNow, all dropping over 20%. Why? Because their core business, their key workflows, were directly in the crosshairs. Now, what's so important to get here is that this crash wasn't caused by a recession or some big economic downturn. It was a direct result of product launches. It all kicked off on January 12th with a simple research preview of a new AI agent. But the real bomb dropped on January 30th with something called the plugin event, basically a release of AI tools that could do the jobs of existing software. By February, the entire sector was just in a total freefall. Okay, so let's get into the tech itself, because that's the key to this whole thing. The AI industry had been promising a revolution for years with co-pilots, but this was something else entirely. The big idea you need to wrap your head around is the computer using agents, or CUA. And look, we're not talking about an AI that just suggests how to finish your email. This is an autonomous agent. It can operate software all by itself, it can learn brand new systems on the fly, and it can carry out these really complex tasks with zero human supervision. And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. The co-pilot era, right? That was all about assisting humans. It was about making us faster, more efficient. The new agentic era, that's about replacing entire human workflows. The AI literally goes from being your helper to being the one doing the work. And when that happens, a lot of human jobs suddenly become redundant. This one sentence from the report really captures the entire economic earthquake. Just think about it for a second. If the main user of your software is an AI that can do the work of, say, 20 people, why would a company pay for 20 human software licenses? They wouldn't. And just like that, the whole per-seat business model starts to completely fall apart. Right, so this new technology wasn't just trying to compete with software as a service companies. It was attacking their very foundation. This wasn't about building a better CRM system. It was about making the need for a human to operate a CRM system totally obsolete. The whole SaaS business model was really built on three big pillars. Pillar one, predictable, reoccurring revenue from those per-seat licenses. Well, that collapses when one AI agent can replace 15 human seats. Pillar two, high switching costs that lock you in. Well, that just vanishes when an AI agent can migrate all your data in minutes. And pillar three, the user interface being a competitive advantage. That becomes totally irrelevant because agents don't need a pretty UI, they just use APIs in the background. The report makes this super critical distinction. This isn't a story about a new company stealing customers from an old one. It's what the author calls revenue deletion. That money that used to be spent on thousands of software licenses, it doesn't just flow to a new AI competitor. A huge chunk of it just disappears. It's wiped from the software economy completely. But hang on, things are never that simple, right? The market obviously panicked. But is the entire multi-trillion-dollar software as a service industry really truly finished? Or is there maybe a more nuanced way to look at this? So, right as the panic was hitting its peak, this other contrarian case started to pop up. Some analysts began to argue that, look, enterprise software isn't just a tool, it's the deeply encoded operating system of the entire business. And the argument goes something like this. These big systems hold decades of business rules, all the compliance stuff, and literally trillions of data points. You can't just unplug something like that overnight. So the thinking is that the data itself and the trust a company has in it might actually be a more durable defense, a better moat than the user interface ever was. So this suggests a really different future for SaaS. Not death, but demotion. In this version of the future, companies like Salesforce don't just go away. Instead, they become sort of like dumb databases. They're the utility layer, the trusted container for the data, while the AI agents become the new, shiny front end, just querying that data in the background. It's a survival story for sure, but probably not a high-growth one. And as that old, reliable per-seat model starts to crumble, whether it's through outright death or just demotion, a new business model is already rising from the ashes, one born specifically for this new agentic world. Say hello to Outcome as a Service, or OAS. And this is a really profound shift. The thing you're buying is no longer access to a piece of software. The unit of value is the actual completion of a task. You don't pay for the tool anymore, you pay for the result it delivers. So what does that actually look like? Well, instead of paying a monthly fee for every user, companies are going to start paying per workflow that gets executed, like complete this legal review, or they'll pay per outcome delivered, close this sales lead. It's a complete change to task-based billing and API credits, and a move away from those flat subscriptions we're all used to. But look, this whole shift goes way beyond just software company valuations. The SaaS apocalypse isn't just a story about stocks crashing. It's really the opening act for a massive transformation that's going to impact jobs, cybersecurity, and the very nature of technology itself. And the ripple effects here are just huge. I mean, for labor, entire departments built around repetitive tasks could be automated away. For security, these autonomous agents create all sorts of new vulnerabilities, which, funny enough, creates this massive new opportunity for a category called agent governance. And for software, well, the whole idea of building one product for millions of users starts to just fade away. This is really the ultimate vision that the report lays out, an era of custom, on-the-fly software. You don't buy software anymore. You just describe an outcome you want, and an AI agent builds the exact tool needed to achieve it. The software itself becomes temporary, almost disposable. I think this quote just perfectly sums up the new paradigm. We have to stop thinking about AI as just another tool, like a fancier hammer. The report argues it's an entirely new engine for getting work done. It's a digital workforce, and the new race is to see who can master that engine first. So in the end, the SaaS apocalypse isn't really an ending at all. It's the messy, chaotic, and disruptive beginning of this new agentic era. And it leaves all of us, builders, investors, everyone, with one pretty profound question to think about.